Hey guys, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Brian. This is Hogshooter Hot Rods, and we're working out of the hog barn here. So today's video, we're going to do something that kind of you can do on any vehicle you're customizing. We're actually working on this 35 Chevy. There's a complete build on the channel. You can just check that out. So today we're going to recess a tag into the rear body of this car. Hopefully get rid of some distorted metal, straighten some stuff up, and strengthen this rear pan of this car. So hey, let's get after it. All right guys, so I've stripped everything off of the last piece of the car, I think, that has ugly stuff that needs to be fixed. Got us all cleaned up here. Third door's all in process. The thing I'm thinking is, like, I haven't provided a way to put a tag on this car. I thought, yep, we can just drill some holes and bolt it right there. But the more I look, I thought, maybe we should like sink that in so it's almost vertical, which is going to be, oh, well, let's just do it the same distance the tail lights are in. We'll start there and see what it looks like. So we'll kind of step it in just a little at the top, more at the bottom. That'll cut out a good section of jacked up metal here, which, hey, that's good. So, yeah, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put epoxy primer on this because it's nice, clean metal now. And then we can draw on that, cut that, and we'll just have to redo a little section. We'll do our body work right on top of the epoxy here on the back of this car. So, yep, I'll bring you in once it's epoxied and we get stuff laid out. All right, guys, so I spent a little bit of time with the plasma cutter and a sheet of some 16 gauge. And I'm just building my own little tag pocket. All, you know, pretty simple. 2 bends, 2 little end pieces, couple of welds. You can see our tag. He's got all kinds of room to fit in there nice and flat. Figure we can put us a little LED tag light in the top of it. And this, you know, that's about the way I want it to sit in the car. It's tucked back in there a little ways, built out of 16 gauge, so that is going to be super strong. Going to add a bunch of strength to the back of our car there, I think. And then these pieces I've just taken and yeah, real quick fusion tacked them on there with the TIG. You can see though, good penetration all the way through, but not going to have to do a ton of body work on the inside of that. It's a reason for taking a little bit of time and cutting these out. Super easy, not a lot of measuring going on. I did take and I had a couple of washers set up to space this out off of the table, so the sides were just a tad longer than the top of it, just in case we need to fit it to the body or whatever in there. So I'm going to keep welding. So I made my pieces slightly bigger. That way when I'm welding, I can melt that edge, and it's almost like having some free filler material there. You know, just not excessively large, just a little bit big. So I'm going to get this tacked in. So the wind's giving me fits because there's an open door behind me and there's a nice breeze. It's about 95, 96 degrees in here right now, so I'd kind of like to have a little bit of breeze, but I'm gonna have to shut it off, I guess. So I went back and I ground down after I fully welded this thing, knocked all of the dingleberries and the big burrs off of it. You can tell we got pretty good penetration on the inside, and these corners here got weld poking through, quite a bit of weld poking through here. It's just because I had this a little bit high on the outside where I left some of that flange, and I was melting it down into the other base metal, and by the time it got there, everything was really hot, but it is stuck together quite well. Now, I did come in, I found the center line of my rear opening here. There's actually one line in the middle of this line that's like 3/8 of an inch wide, so that we have that all marked up so we know where it's at. And this thing is going to end up going in here like this. And I didn't really think, but by not closing that up to a 90, I actually made this like 3/4 of an inch larger opening there, which I think is going to be fine with me, because that is going to help eliminate a bunch of this messed up metal on this thing. Right here, you can see it after I stripped it when I showed that. These were actually holes that held the spare tire carrier on. There was 2 holes here and 1 hole that's up in the rear door. So we'd be completely cutting those out, and we'll cut out this distortion that's right along this body line. I think that we'll make this thing where it'll just sit kind of going up at a slight angle, but still have that line in there, and it should look really good. So I will get this hole cut, kind of this piece maybe cleaned up a little bit more, get her fitted in there, bring you guys back in. How's that after I get it fitted, maybe tacked up? Well, all right, guys. We got our hole cut out in there, trimmed it all up. Just rough cut it with a plasma cutter at first because I knew it was going to be ugly because this car's got bed liner all on the inside of it to help protect it from rust, but it sure does make it nasty to grind. You did see I used a hammer and dolly, a pair of pliers to kind of fit, or not fit, but flatten out that little bit of a lip that I left right here. Was kind of using that to help guide me in setting this piece in. And you can see we're getting pretty close now. Got it where I can squeeze it back in there. And kind of what I'm trying to do is get this corner even and the middle up here even, and then we'll do the same on this side. And then all we got to do is come in and trace and trim, make sure that we're even from side to side there. And yeah, it'll be looking pretty nice. Pretty nice there. Just
Oh yeah, take the old ones off instead of using the original. Just use those then.
mm-hmm. Yeah, they were the cheapest thing that I could buy to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Then you had to build all this.
Yeah, every bit of it. It's like you cut that hole in there, and then I built a piece of sheet metal that just went straight back, and I had to weld the edge all the way around the whole thing.
Oh,
and then I built a piece that's an angle that comes out and goes in, and I welded it from the inside all the way around the whole thing. And then this has a piece of 1-inch square tubing back here, and it's got braces that come around and attach it. And then this one is another piece of 1-inch square tubing with more braces coming around. And had to cut those pieces. I actually welded a piece of tubing onto this to set everything in the beginning, welded it at the bottom and at the top, and got it to where the hinges would swing correct, and then filled in the open spaces past that. So there's like, each time you go around, it's 12 feet of weld here, 12 feet of weld there, then all the welding in all this stuff, and then you got this deal is what, it's 12 feet of weld to go around it. And then I did the same thing. I built a piece that was a 90 and just came in about 1 inch, and then I built this next bend off of that. And all this stuff around this back window. It was just kind of a...
No, it had the back window in it, didn't it? I mean, the cut, or did you have to make that?
The cut was in there, the hole for the back window.
Yeah.
But I just had to build everything from that flange right there. I mean, it's just all sheet metal. All right, so after some good welding, some really good grinding, and a little bit of the Scotch-Brite disc on the drill, this is kind of where I'm at. And all those welds they're really close to being flush, so I think it's going to be good enough to apply some body filler to and move on. Well, I'm not like trying to create any kind of I'm metal finishing this car, because that's not the way it is in real life. Certainly not the way the old 35 is. You can see I got the old door sitting back on here. I wanted to check and make sure that I didn't mess any of this up when I was putting that on there. We got a pretty good gap along it now. I do have this edge is just a little bit low, so I've got to go back and work on that some. I am ready to do this, prime it, and yeah, be done with the bodywork side of this thing. Well, all right, guys, in today's video, I kind of took you inside and showed you how to build a simple tag pocket. I think it's the method of using the least amount of welding that you have to. A MIG welder, a plasma cutter, or a MIG welder and a grinder with a cutoff wheel, you can make all kinds of stuff with just those simple tools. All it takes is a little bit of imagination, spend a little time, and yeah, here you go. So anybody that follows me on the Instagram, or I might posted some pictures on Facebook. We throw the old outlaw tag on all these cars we do out in the shop. And hey, give the video a thumbs up if you like what I did. Leave a comment down below if there's something I should have done differently, or you just have suggestions or comments about the video. And don't forget, subscriptions are free. We'll catch you guys on the next one.